we're talking about masks there. Catherine raised masks. Now, Paul, I want to show you something out of Melbourne. This happened earlier this week where a bloke who was obviously a little bit upset about being forced to wear a mask out in the open when he was going for a walk was questioned by police. He had a pretty good answer. Have a look at this.
You can confirm your identity and then
we can keep walking?
Let's get through the first step.
Are you within 5 kilometres of your residential address?
I can't recall.
Okay.
Martin,
Look,
I'll just go with your date of birth.
I can't recall either.
It doesn't really matter. You realise that...
Yeah, I can't recall. Like, the government said I can't recall. Every single official said I can't recall over this commission.
Martin, can I...
That is I can't recall not a legal answer?
Martin?
Is I can't recall a legal answer?
I'd like to have a conversation.
I know. I'd like to as well, but I'm just saying the government, that was the government's excuse for every question that they were asked against the quarantine that put us in this mess.
I think he handed over the details later and moved on. But, Paul, it's not about argument. None of the ministers, none of the bureaucrats remembered what went on. Why should he be expected to remember?
Yes, an example of collective decision-making where nobody was responsible and an assumption took over. Look, with these videos, I always hope that after it, bang off and then just the details take place. But what about Brett Sutton today? Brett Sutton today was doubling down. There's a heat wave in regional Victoria right now that absolutely compulsory masks must be worn in regional Victoria. This is going to be the interesting thing of how masks apply in an Australian summer. Now, again, I'm not suggesting that, you know, oh, well, it's warm outside, then toss the mask aside. But you're coming up against those hard realities of something that worked in the middle of winter versus the practicalities of a hot summer in the bush. Yeah,
and it's balancing the practicalities against the risk. You've got to be sensible about this. Now, I know you love your Queensland politics and you're all over the wonderful Palaszczuk Labor government. Let's have a look at Stephen Miles, the Deputy Premier and Health Minister. His tweet in response to Donald Trump testing positive says, "Have you considered intravenous disinfectant?" This is the Health Minister of Queensland. Your thoughts?
He's all politics. Like, this bloke is the machine. This bloke has a doctorate, not in health, in unionism. This is the Deputy Premier who hopes to take over from Palaszczuk should she win in the next 4 years. But I've got to say, today, you know, I could have filled an hour with this one tonight, so I'll give you the red hot now, which was Dr Jeanette Young blew away the justification for the borders staying up until the end of October yesterday, when she said, we're not going to have another lockdown, we're on top of it, we've got the New South Wales contact tracing, right? New South Wales is now halfway to the mark that brought the borders down in July.
Yep.
Yet, no, it's got to go a full 28 days. So when asked about it today, the Premier said, well, most likely it's going to be November 1. But November 1 isn't 28 days from. Instead, they're going to need, after 28 days, an extra week to get everything in place. The only thing at play here is the Queensland election. And as I say at night, I say with you right now, because prime time starts at 5 o'clock, baby, which is flush this mob, I'll give you the domestos, because they are doing it all for politics. And if a health minister's response to a person being diagnosed with coronavirus is, ah, ha, 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 you've been hit by the coronavirus train, by the karma truck, the only people who want more coronavirus are the Queensland government.
Can't say it better than that. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Good to see you.
Love you, mate. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no,
I don't care.
Paul Murray.